And welcome back, everyone, to the 2019 OS World Cup. I'm this one guy bringing you this evening the first of our two Losers Bracket Round 5 matchups featuring Team Canada and Team Hong Kong. Joining me today is none other than coach of the United States World Cup team, Monko2K. How are you doing this evening, Monko?
What's up? It is a fine evening, and I'm very excited for this match.
And why would you say you are most excited for this match?
Because these two teams have been putting up a pretty good fight so far in the losers bracket. Canada pulling a fast one, beating the giant Poland, champion of 2017, in the losers bracket 6-3, and Hong Kong beating Australia with the same scoreline. And they'll be playing on the same pool, so just a bunch of good stuff to happen here. If we compare the two match scores between the maps that they shared in their matches, scoreline is actually also very close as well. I believe both of the shared maps, of which there were 5, Hong Kong took 3 of them, and USA took 2. So if that's any indication of how this match is going to go, then this ought to be exciting.
Worth noting, in that 3-2 scoreline on those 5 maps, the total score difference was a whopping 6,229. So after 5 entire maps that these two teams shared, the score difference between them was less than 10,000. I don't know if you can really get much closer than that, which I think bodes well for an excellent matchup here this evening between two teams that, as you said, have really been playing quite well for themselves in this losers bracket. Especially, I think a couple of their main carries each. We saw Denier Nezer, we saw Hello Tom Lol 225, we saw Chaos Litz for Hong Kong playing incredibly well against Australia. And for the Canada side, I think Azer is probably the one to watch. Their longtime captain and Rock best player really performed insanely well today. I think for me, those are the players I'm looking out for. You have anybody in mind for yourself?
I'd say be on the lookout for Stoof in this round. I think, especially on this pool, he tends to stand out way more than he normally does. At least in the last match, we kind of saw that. But yeah, anything goes for this match, really. It has been several hours since Hong Kong last played. They've had a good night's rest, I'm assuming. Whereas Canada has kind of just been up all day long, playing whatever they felt like playing, maybe Halo. But yeah, both teams, I'd assume, are going to be quite ready, and we're going to be jumping right into the warm-up.
I know I can vouch, if nothing else, for Trev Rasher from Canada playing some Halo. He was carrying me on some Slayer DMRs on Select last I saw him. So we'll see how good a warm-up Halo is for Osu. Don't know about that one. I also don't know about this warm-up. Those are some big jumps.
These are some jumps. These are the peak of human performance here. The limits of mapping. I mean, like the literal limits. You can't place the notes any further without making them off screen. But yeah. This tells...
Modders always talk about playfield usage, and I think My Chocolate was kind of going for that here. Like, he just wants to use corners previously unseen by human eyes.
Yeah. People are actually having a much better time with this than I'd otherwise think they would. Except Judas is kind of just spinning in circles. Anything is a warm-up, if you think about it. You know, sometimes you just need to get the juices flowing, you know, draw some circles, just wave your arm around rapidly. Doesn't matter if you're hitting anything. Clearly here, nobody is hitting anything, basically. Azer just gave up. But yeah, aside from this warm-up, match should be much better than this.
On the bright side, this is actually a banger, even if it is the Nightcore version. So I guess we've got that going for us. Shoutouts to Aryu with the DTFC of the ranked map of this, like last week. Aryu God Gamer. Definitely nothing like this particular map of this song, though. I don't think he had to flail his curse around quite like this.
Actually, an interesting thing to note is sometimes when you have like a super giga warm-up like this, just like 11 stars or whatever, star rating 10, sometimes it messes with your aim, especially for maps in the lower stages. Like, if you dropped straight down to some gimmicky flow map, I guarantee you a lot of these people right now, if they started playing right off the bat, would have a much worse time than they'd normally have. But hopefully, there's enough time for them to settle things back down with the bans and the next warm-up. That won't matter. But just an interesting thing to note from personal experience.
Word on the street is that the second warm-up is actually going to be a meme. So, you know, strap yourselves in because we might be in for quite the wild ride here on this Kyle map. Anybody that's seen a Kyle map knows to temper their expectations carefully. I think you have to go in knowing what you're going to get, and the fact that he's not even playing his own map in the warm-up might say a little bit about its particular quality and style. Kyle, of course.
Kyle, he didn't even play this match, but he's here now, so maybe we'll be seeing some different things from Canada in this match.
Yeah, we'll see what happens if he ends up playing many maps in this. Assuming I know he was apparently maybe coming home, I guess, but I don't know. Like I heard mixed reviews of how much he's actually going to be playing on this pool, or how much he was even planned to be playing on this pool going in. So yeah, you know, maybe if he was kind of in as that fill player on certain picks. Otherwise, it's hard to say. Canada and their rosters are pretty flexible, I think. So. One of the big concern I think they had going into the match earlier was Ryuke and his setup being away from home on a different setup, but he performed pretty well. So I guess not a big deal when you're that caliber of player.
Plus the fact that he's had a couple more hours to adjust by now, so he should at least be a little more comfortable than he was previously. And ooh, this looks quite fun. Even bringing some mods out, Yuki-chan going, okay, Azer just missed that whole thing. That's okay.
Yuki-chan is kind of the hidden player, like all caps title, the hidden player for his role on the team. Oh, that's a stream. That was a stream.
That was a pretty fast stream, I would say.
My enduring image of Kyle is tuning into his stream and watching him play catch the beat auto convert maps in OS standard, which are, as you would expect, interesting because they only have horizontal movement because CTB only exists in the horizontal plane. There is no vertical movement, which I think maybe reflects itself in his mapping decisions. He's a bit of a interesting mapper.
Reminds me of Hollow Wings, but a little more questionable. In fact, much more questionable. This is a cool pattern.
Wait, those sliders are... Yeah, that's unique.
I don't know how to play that, and apparently neither does Trevrasher. He's gone.
He's out of here.
That was the end of the warm-ups.
I guess that's that. So... I mean, the players are probably going to be warmed up for both aim and breeding, right? Conceivably, after those warm-ups, I guess, yes. In theory.
They've traversed the entire mapping field on the first warm-up, and I don't even know what to call what we just saw. I don't know. They played something.
It was a map. There were circles on the screen for them to click. That's the important part. At the end of the day, you can't play OS without circles on the screen to click. So, you know, they did that bare minimum expectation for the video game.
Oh, and getting into rolls, Azer with the nice roll.
Nice roll. That's a very nice roll.
Let's see if Hong Kong can trump that. Oh, nope, that was Ryan. It's okay. Canada's still winning the roll as of now because Hong Kong has not rolled anything. And yeah, that's a stomp. Canada with the roll win in the end.
So that will be Canada gets the choice of who picks first and Hong Kong who bans first? Question mark. I think that's right. I should really be
Wait a
paying
minute.
more attention to that sort of thing by
It
now.
wasn't the captain who rolled, so I'm not even
Oh,
sure if
so
it counts.
I think Chaos Let's is their captain?
Yes, he is, and depending on what the ref says here, that's gonna determine who actually won the roll here.
Okay, well, the referee Tiger is saying, oh, there is Chow. A good attempt at typing chaos, I suppose. And so I'm going to say that's going to be, yeah, he's going to give that over to Hong Kong, the 72 to 69. Nice. So that will mean that Hong Kong will then have the thing that we were trying to figure out there.
Yep, they're gonna have a little bit of a choice here. We'll see what they go for.
So you get option?
Speaking
First or
of
second?
bans are gonna be a little bit weird in this matchup. For Hong Kong at least, I'd say they'll probably ban No Mod 6 given what went down over in Canada's match and Azer just going mode. Meanwhile, over for Canada, I'd just play it safe and ban DT2 because Hong Kong did quite well on that. Despite only getting, I think, 1 FC, there might have been 2. I think the second one, if it was an FC, was like 86% accuracy. But nonetheless, I think that's a lot better than what Canada is probably going to put out here.
Yeah, there was an FC and an S rank, I believe, on the second DT, but Canada in a little bit of an advantageous position here because they get to select to ban first and fourth, and they're going to ban, I think, Nomad 1, and then they're going to ban DT, and they're going to save DT4. If Hong Kong bans it, then they don't have to worry about it, and they can ban a different DT. They can ban DT1 probably. And there's the Nomad 1 ban. Hong Kong probably, like you said, probably just bans Nomad 6, and then maybe Free Mod 3, the AR8 CS5. If I had to guess, I would say those are just based on their performance before.
Yeah, I'd probably put my money on Free Mod 3 as well. But we'll see here. I'm not too certain if Canada wants to ban DT4 in this scenario because they do have the potential to put out some pretty good scores. I know Stoof and Azer, at the very least, have the potential to FC this one. And, okay.
That's not what I expected at all.
Predictions were completely wrong. Hong
Wow.
Kong opting to ban Hidden 3 and Hard Rock 3 instead.
Okay, so both teams have now banned Hard Rock 3 against these two teams, and then Hong Kong banning it out. So Australia banned Hard Rock 3 against Hong Kong, and Poland banned Hard Rock 3 against Canada. And now Hong Kong is banning it against Canada. I don't really know what to make of that, to be honest. Hong Kong played Hidden 3 earlier and did okay on it. They didn't do great, and it did not exist, I don't think, in Canada's match. So that's an interesting kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think there's some wild bans. Canada even banning DT1 here out of all the DTs they could have banned. I did not expect that one, to be honest.
No, I did have the prediction on that one because they lost it in the head-to-head by 770k. So I kind of figured that was a safe ban. I think they probably expected Hong Kong to ban DT4, but now it's going to be up for the first time for either of these teams.
Speaking of that, Hong Kong here with the first pick. I am predicting we're probably going to be seeing... Actually, no. I was going to predict we might see a DT right off the bat, given how well they performed in their match versus Australia. Even though they did lose, they did quite well. They got 2 FCs, I have confirmed that, and a near FC on DT2. But yeah, they really could just go with anything.
I think maybe it's a DT pick here to open it up, because I think they feel... If I were Hong Kong, I think in this matchup, I would probably feel like I had the advantage on double time. But I guess you have to be worried about the potential carry performance from guys like Ryuke.
Exactly. Like, if just looking at the roster of Canada, you automatically are going to fear DT just a little bit from them having Stoof and Ryuke and Trev Rasher. But yeah, no problem. They're going to be picking Nomad 2 Lemuria right off the bat.
It's gonna be our Nomad stream map as the first pick. I don't know I don't know what to expect out of Hong Kong on this. They did not play it in their match. It was not picked or banned. Canada, this was Canada's first pick in their own match. Excuse me, as Azar just said, and they won it. So that's kind of curious to me, taking the other team's first pick from their prior match as your own first pick in your head-to-head matchup. Don't know on that guy.
Yeah, that's kind of a questionable pick, but it might work out in the end here. Maybe they have something up their sleeve. Maybe they were actually just like amazing savants at this map, and they're just going to 4-away right here and show Canada who's boss. On the other hand, what I think is more likely to happen is Canada will probably not have a terrible time here. All 4 of these players very capable of FCing this map. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, the only player who is very strong on just no mod in general that comes to mind, at least for this map, is Denier Nazar. I'm not too sure how the other 3 players are going to do on this, but I'm presuming they probably are okay if they pick this.
Yeah, Canada's score on this was not, like, incredible by any means, so maybe, like you said, Hong Kong, I mean, even if they don't come out and just 4-way it, they can come out and put up 2 really good scores and they'll be close to Canada's total score already. I mean, if you get, like, literally just a double FC will put you within 300,000 points of Canada's entire team score from their previous match. So worth the pick if you think you can get, like, what, 600k on all 4 players, which I don't think is unreasonable.
I think the main tricky part here in the end for most people, well, definitely, is the 1/6 burst section. And if you FC that, that's basically 600k in the bag, no matter what you do in the last half of the map. But that's assuming you can hit everything before it, which, as some players have shown, is quite difficult at times, but we'll see here.
It is going to be the same 4-man roster for Canada as they ran in the previous match with Yummy, Neuro, Ryuke, and Stoof. Hong Kong starting things off with Denar Nezzer, MCY4, Hello Tom Lol 225, and Loli Lover. Really love that name change. Big fan. Just in time for OS World Cup on stream.
Well done. All right.
Let's see how these guys do to start things off here. First map, of our first match of this particular losers bracket round. See how everybody feels getting started.
So far, so good. Notably, Ryuke is having kind of an accuracy issue. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, as Yummy in my tummy is rocking that SS. Already a third of the map out of the way, and things are going to pick up very quickly here.
This is one of those maps that really increases in intensity as you get onward in it, with the streams increasing in spacing and those 1/6 streams that we mentioned, providing pretty much the main difficulty of it. There's just so many places you can kind of just break. Oh, that's going to be Loli Lover and MCY4, both breaking instantly.
Everyone on Canada held through the 1/6 part. This is not looking very good for Hong Kong already. Half of the map to go, and
there goes MCY4 again. He's down at 95% AC with Chain missing that stream.
Yep, now it's just 2 FCs to 4, and Canada looking much stronger on this than they were last match.
Nezzer loses his FC. Stoof and Ryuke both break though. It's 1 combo versus 2. Yummy and Neuro with the FCs versus Hello Tom Law. That's Canada just gonna run with this one. 400k lead.
Yummy does find a break, however. Nero versus Hello Tom Law, and Hello Tom Law gonna find a break. Just Nero now. And yeah, this one is safely in Canada's hands. Nero does find a break, but it's not gonna matter in the end.
Yeah, the 4-way miss from Hong Kong at the end there, just kind of insult to injury at that one section, and then Canada, not a lot of combo, but they already had a big enough lead that it really doesn't matter. So the question mark here for me is you steal the first pick and you do that with it. I like we said, I think I kind of question that as a first pick from Hong Kong.
I am not really too sure what they were thinking going into this. Maybe they saw the result from the last match for Canada and were like, hey, yeah, easy, we can do that. And evidently they could not. But yeah, Canada gonna be opening this up with a break point right off the bat.
That's got to feel good. Mentally, always helps, of course, to get out in that early lead. In terms of score, always like getting on top of the leaderboard, getting that early break point, give yourself an opportunity to find a very comfortable first pick of your own to consolidate. And just, the kind of question mark you're going to have in your head as Canada is, they just took our first pick and we walloped them on it, and that is probably a big confidence booster for them.
Definitely a confidence booster, and I probably expect them to pick that later on, actually. So now they have a lot more freedom in what they want to do from here. They could open up with maybe No Mod 6. They did very well on No Mod 6 last time, or at least Azer did. And Hong Kong did leave that one open, although, should note, Hong Kong is kind of known for being good at these gimmicky things, although they did play it in their match versus Australia, and comparing the scores from these two teams, Canada just kind of destroyed them on that. But nope, they're going to be playing it safe and going Hard Rock 1. This is another questionable pick, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, this was not played in either match. Hong Kong banned it, and Canada and Poland both ignored it. Canada, I think, comparatively doesn't look super great on aim picks, at least, looking at like the No Mod 1 score comparison between these two teams. Yeah, this is an interesting first pick from both teams here. Canada probably knows something we don't, I hope, for their sake, because otherwise I would question this one.
I'm assuming they're probably basing this off of the fact that Hong Kong chose to ban this in the last match versus Australia. And Australia is not exactly too well known for having stellar hard rock performance. They have some pretty good players, but in general, they're not known for it. Yeah, Canada does have a pretty good chance to take this one, I would say, despite everything.
Yeah, this is a Trev Rasher map, hard rock aim map. Trev Rasher City right here, coming in, see how he can perform. Hopefully be the catalyst that Canada will need. I don't know, the Australia not being good at hard rock thing, I don't know about that one, but...
Well, they're not bad, but they're much more well known for things like DT, I would argue. They have some stellar aimers, but they're not really super proven in tournament in the way that like some of USA players are pretty well known for just being hard rock beasts. And here in Canada, there are a couple hard rock beasts. Trevor Rasher, as we mentioned, Stoof as well, and even Ryuke, but he's not playing this map, which is kind of strange to me. Especially, this is a faster Hard Rock 1 pick. It is 7 stars, and it's not 7 stars. It is 7 stars.
It is, yeah, it's exactly 7 stars with Hard Rock.
But yeah, it's a pretty fast map for Hard Rock 1. It's 215 BPM, and usually that'd be right up Ryan's alley. Ryuke, he'd want to play this, but I guess he's not comfortable. Nonetheless, a strong roster on Canada, regardless. Right as I say that, everyone is just having a bad time with this intro. Literally everyone. Okay. And right off the bat, 2 FCs remaining on the board. Yummy and My Tummy and Azer with the full combos. Everyone else breaking very early. Okay.
Azer's gone too. It's Yummy, the only FC, the only combo over 200 of, all 8 players. Not how you want to start off a match, but I suppose if you're Canada, you'll be okay with it. It's still very early days here in the 3-minute long map, but I think the intro is kind of the hardest part in this for quite some time, to be fair. Gets a little bit easier through the first verse and this section here before the chorus, so... Oh, what, Stoof? You okay over there, buddy? Is Newfoundland too cold for your aim hand?
Players finding kind of weird breaks. Yeah, Trev there too. Earlier we saw MCY4 struggling. Danny or Nez are also finding a break. This is just a mess.
This is a little bit of a fiesta. I don't know what's going on here. Yummy and my
tummy.
Yummy and my break-in.
Combo advantage is now in favor of Hong Kong off of the back of Pedal as we enter this first aim section.
Nope, not anymore. His Pedal broke, and so did Chaos.
Azer.
It's Azer with the only... He has the only real big combo, And then what, Trev and Denier and Nezzer, relatively close to one another. This is a bit of a comedy of errors here. This is more breaks than there are combos going on, but there goes Azer. Okay, well, Trev Rasher, can you be the guiding light your team needs? Dinar Nezzer, likewise for Hong Kong, the combo gamer, trying to keep things going for them.
Actually, I think combo advantage is slightly in favor of Hong Kong. Never
well,
mind.
not anymore.
Nezzer breaking on a stream, like a stack.
He just.
I don't even know what just happened.
Maybe his keyboard double tapped. I don't know.
Possible. But yeah, score is deceptively close, deceptively far. Is it even?
It's you know, it's like 100. It's 200k. Well, there goes Trev. There goes Stoof. There goes Azer.
I feel like the score difference doesn't even matter right now because everyone's just having trouble finding like any combo at all. Yummy in my tummy is building up quite nicely, but Chaos lets in Petal countering them.
You
never
said
mind.
Petal's name and he just broke instantly. Dinar Nezzer broke me to the. Everyone's just breaking everywhere. So MCY4 has
What?
nope, he doesn't. What the? Sorry for that really loud noise. I apologize. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I knocked into my mic by accident.
Combos
Anyway, what is going on?
Hong Kong. Azer and Trev Rasher now with 200 combos. We enter the last 8 of the map. I think they're going to get this one. I really don't actually
Trev
know.
and Azer are both over 300 combo. I think that's probably going to be all that matters because we're so close to the end, and this is going to be Canada holding on. I think.
Anybody get above 500,000 score?
The answer is no. The answer. Wait, Trev did it. Let's go. Trev Rasher.
No, he didn't. He literally he just 100 in the last slider.
Wow.
Okay.
499k. Nobody over 500k. What did we just watch?
Stellar performance from both sides. No scores over 500k. You know, I said,
what did we just watch?
Some hard rock mode players. We did not see that here. Nonetheless, Canada did in the end win their own pick, so that's good for them. That was very turbulent. I would not do that ever again.
Yeah, if I never have to see that occur for any two teams ever again, like, it's fine. That's totally cool with me. I think we can move on. Maybe something that doesn't require aim. What's the least aim requiring map in this pool? Let's just go to that.
Yeah, honestly.
Thank God they banned Nomad 1. Can you imagine?
I don't want to imagine, but I think I can. Anyways, that's out of the way here. Canada with a nice 2-0 lead, up with 1 break point. Hong Kong next to pick. Hopefully we'll see something a little cleaner this time. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm not really sure what Hong Kong is gonna pick here. As we've demonstrated from this pick and the prior pick, they are not really super dominant in terms of aim or flow aim, really. So I don't think they would go for No Mod 6 at this point, and I don't think they would go for whatever aim is left in the pool either. Definitely not
okay.
Hard Rock 2.
Thoughts on? I was about to say thoughts on Hard Rock 2, and then you killed my hopes.
Although I don't
it's
think
gonna be
either
DT2.
team... Oh, actually, yeah, that's kind of an obvious one for me. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Yep, I've mentioned it like 3 times now, but Hong Kong did quite well on this in their last match, and perhaps they'll put up a similar fight here, but notably, Canada not to be just put out of this one. Ryuk, well-known fast burst player, Stoof as well, and for their last 2, probably Trev Rasher and Kyle, honestly.
Yeah, I would expect that to be the roster as Trev Rasher and Kyle promptly come into the lobby at your command. Are you simultaneously in a VC with them?
I'm actually the Canadian captain.
Canadian? So you're Ignite now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Shoutouts to the Ignation.
You know, going back to... Ignoring this pick for a second, going back to what we said about Hard Rock 2, I really don't know, because I feel like after that map, neither team is going to want to touch Hard Rock 2, just because it's such a toss-up. So I don't think we're actually going to end up seeing that in the rest of the match.
I don't know that Hard Rock 2 has existed, like, at all. Has it been played in any match at all? Like, any of them?
Good question. It's kind of one of those maps that's very difficult to do consistently on because it is kind of aim. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got aim, and that aim happens to be in the form of sliders across the screen from each other, and it's got a lot of flow and cut streams. So just all kinds of patterns that people don't really have a good time with consistently. But yeah, that's a theoretical thing. Right now, we're in DT2, and hopefully Kyle will get in here eventually.
DT2, which I will note is 6.7 stars, not 4.8 stars. Looks like there's a little star rating error on the screen there. Hopefully Kyle makes it in. Don't know if they're going to need to refresh the client or what. Hello, Tom Lull, having a little trouble with his accuracy early on. Trev Rasher with a break as we cut away to get Kyle.
Covered the Kyle. So far, actually, I think all 8 players, maybe. I didn't get to see Kyle, but I think everyone hit the first screen, and Kyle looks to have done that too. But yeah, right now, combo advantage in favor of Canada. Now,
yeah, you were
the only FC. Oh, no.
It's Stoof. Stoof had, I guess, a phantom miss.
Yeah,
and Denier Nezzer is also. So there's 3 FCs still alive. 2 on Canada, 1 on Hong Kong.
All right. Now here things get weird. All right. Nobody broke on the weird part. There is a stream that goes into a slider that a lot of people break on. But that's at the end.
This is Canada just winning by a lot because they have 2 FCs and Trev Rasher nearly FCing. So Kyle is like kind of unimportant in the grand scheme of things. No offense, Kyle, love your work, but your score is irrelevant here because Petal and Hello Tom Law are both kind of having trouble.
Yeah, Ryan does find a miss. Stoof and Trev Rasher still holding. Just kidding.
Trev Rasher not anymore. I think it's too late though. It just doesn't matter. It's already over.
That was great. That
was 1 minute and 28 seconds long. That was a banger from start to finish, and that was Canada. Stoof goes in, gets the FC. Denier Nezzer FCs as well with a little lower accuracy, but Canada playing the combo game there. Ryuke 750 combo, Trev Rasher 672 combo. 1 player on Hong Kong over 350 combo. So that's kind of what happens when that occurs. You don't win maps like that, and that's another break point for Canada.
That was a little bit of a fall off from Hong Kong. Neither of the players who FC'd in the previous round FC'd this time. Hello Tom Lol and Petal both finding less than 500,000 score. Last time they both FC'd, albeit Petal had like 86% AC, and he's improved upon that greatly. He still didn't he still didn't win though. But yeah, Canada gonna be taking a second break point.
Yeah, Hong Kong went from 2.8 million to 2.2 million, and Hong Kong went down by 600k, and Canada still would have beaten them by 200k, even with their score from earlier. So, not optimal there if you're the Hong Kong side of things.
Not really. Still not the end of things. Canada still needs 3 more points, but it is getting dangerously close. Next pick is Canada's. But yeah, I wouldn't say Hong Kong is out of this just yet, but so far it has been quite not good for them in terms of their own picks. Canada's pick was shaky as well, I will admit, but not nearly as bad as what we've seen so far. I think Hong Kong's basically just gotten wiped on their own picks so far.
We can chalk up Canada's pick to just a clown fiesta across the board, and we can just pretend that map never happened, I think. Meanwhile, the 2 Hong Kong picks really not going great. And Freemod 1 going to be the next pick out from our Canadian brethren north of the border. It's going to be the kind of slider-heavy Freemod pick. They picked earlier. They did lose this, interestingly enough, to Poland. But I guess they felt confident enough to run it back in their second match here today. And this one we saw, I believe it was Trev Rasher, Yuki-chan as the mods. It was Trev with Hard Rock, Yuki with Hidden. Azer and Neuro both running no mod on this particular map, so look for them to be pretty set with their picks once again.
In general, I think Canada is performing much better in this match than they did in their last match, so maybe they're feeling a little bit in their comfort zone. They're going to try a couple things that in the last match were not a very good map for them, like this one. They did lose this, I think you said. But yeah, this time, willing to test out the waters. Actually, they didn't even perform that poorly on this one. In fact, they performed quite well. I think Azer nearly FC'd. In fact, 2 of them nearly FC'd, if I recall correctly. So this is actually pretty strong for them in this match.
Yeah, Azer had an S rank. And let's see, Neuro had a pretty good combo. Several misses, but a good combo. Trevrasher kind of didn't do super great, but Hard Rock on this map is kind of difficult, I would say. So I'll give him a pass for sure on that, as he's kind of their Hard Rock tank on these free mods. Curious to see what mods Hong Kong will run. This is only the second time we've seen Ryushi today across these 2 matches. He played No Mod 1 in their first match, and that was it. So he'll be coming in here for a free mod that they didn't play before. And it looks like he's going to be their Hard Rock player on that side, with Judas playing hidden.
Yep, and Denier Nezar and Lolly Lover going to be sticking it with no mod, as you would expect, at least for Denier Nezar.
Yeah, these free mods definitely kind of lend themselves to the minimum mods required, and then no mods on the other players, unless you're an absolute legend.
There are a couple people who you might expect to have a little bit of a better time on this map with Hard Rock than they would with no mod, but that's a very rare breed of people. They're not here, as we can see. Okay, and Trevrasher going to be finding the first break. Not a big deal at all, just the first 100 combo, but it is going to lend Hong Kong a slight combo advantage here in the first part of the map.
Trevrasher's job here, if I understand correctly, is basically just to come in, play Hard Rock, and get like 400k, and just, you know, that's going to be good enough because he is their designated Hard Rock player. And we see Ryushi with about the same score, despite the longer combo due to the lower accuracy. So, oh, Azer though, that's not optimal.
Nobody broke on the triangle. But yeah, Azer broke just before that, and that is going to put the combo advantage even further in favor of Hong Kong as the map now kind of really starts.
A little bit sad that you have to get a third of the way into a 4-minute long map for it to get interesting, but it is a pretty sizable combo lead for Hong Kong. You'll see that lead going over here shortly because of the lower accuracy, but it's a gigantic combo lead. Ryushi is somehow still FCing with 93 AC on the Hard Rock over there. I don't know how he's doing it, but he's doing it. Yeah. How is Canada still in the lead, actually?
Accuracy.
That's literally just AC.
And Ryushi does find a break. Trevrasher, meanwhile, did FC that section. And
Judas with a break.
Oh.
Both mods broke for Hong Kong pretty close together. We do still have the hidden FC for Canada. Yuki-chan, the designated hidden player. Well, I'm sorry. It's
gone. Still
my bad.
FC on Nero. Trevrasher also did find a break a little bit earlier. Azer building up a pretty nice combo. Denier Nezar going to be next to fall. And combo advantage safely in favor of Canada for now. It is very fragile. Only Nero FCing and Azer with the only real combo besides Nero. And over on Hong Kong, just Lolly Lover, basically.
This is going to be very volatile in the last third of this map with the 2 FCs going basically head-to-head. Azer's combo is going to be doing work for Canada here, though. Yuki-chan and Ryushi trading a miss, so it's going to be a combo reset. They weren't too far apart. Really, all eyes on Neuro and Lolly Lover with those FCs. There goes Azer's big combo, but Judas breaks as well. This is looking pretty okay for Canada. If Neuro can keep it up, which, based on the way things have been going, it's tough.
Yeah, map only gets harder from here at the end. The sliders are very massive, and there's still about 200,000 score to lose in the ending section. But for now, both Lolly Lover and Nero having a grand old time on this map.
the one big difference between the two. Neuro has a 3% accuracy lead, and that's good for about a 70k score lead, despite them both FCing. Judas with the break, Ryushi with only 100 combo, so this ending difficult part is probably not going to end up mattering all that much because Trev has a 700 plus, Yuki's at 400 plus, Neuro's still FCing, and Canada now has over a 200k score lead that they can probably just ride home.
Yep.
And there goes Lola Lover.
That's the end.
That's it. That's it. There goes the map.
On Neuro, can he get that?
Nope. No, he can't.
He can't.
No, he can't.
It's over. Yeah, Canada gonna be winning their own pick to put them up 4-0.
That is a good score. That was pretty good. They improved their score from earlier today by almost 300,000 points, and they went from a loss on it to a win. So good stuff from Canada. S rank from Lola Lover, so it was just a slider break near the end, but unfortunately for him, the accuracy a little bit lacking, and he ended up over 100, almost 130,000 points behind his opposite number Neuro. A big combo from Trevor Usher. Second highest score despite Hard Rock, whereas the Hard Rock from the opposing team did not do quite so well. And if you're, whoa, what the?
A. The letter
A. Okay, so we're gonna technical difficulties screen here quite briefly.
That gives us a little bit of time to talk, and really all of a sudden. For the last 3. Now Hong Kong has not been having a great time on their own picks. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty fast. And now they somehow bring this back, starting with their own pick. If they lose this, it will be match point for Canada. It will be match point on Canada on their own pick. So that is not a place where you want to be at.
Well, by the sounds of things, we're getting nothing but theory. So this is Hong Kong literally throwing caution to the wind and saying, hey guys, we're picking a tech map against Azer.
Yeah. Some more questionable picks. It could work out, though. Hong Kong does have a pretty strong roster on this, all things considered. I think Hello Tom Lol nearly FC'd it last. So it is possible that we could see Canada just whiff this one, or Hong Kong go God mode. Based on the pattern of things going, however, I would say that Canada probably still has a little bit of an advantage on this map. The Azer effect. If you have Azer on your team, everyone just becomes a tech player. But yes,
it's the osmosis theory of tech map skill. Just be kind of near a tech map player and their skill just kind of enters your zone. You become magically able to hit weird sliders.
The theory of skill absorption.
Can I do my master's thesis on this?
You could try. Probably not a very good idea.
I was gonna design my own course and everything. I mean, right? It's like the Michael Jordan effect. You make everybody around you better, except for tech maps in Osu, very specifically. Can I get a p-value of less than 0.05 so I can prove that this is statistically significant?
I don't know. You're gonna have to find out. Anyways, getting into this map. This should be quite fun if the map starts. That is a very large if. All right, we've gotten in with all 8 players, and that is a good start to things.
We're gonna see Hong Kong looking to probably improve their score. 2.27 million from the last match and a couple breaks.
Died.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Not how you start.
Right off the bat, just 3 FCs left. Nero, MCY4, and Chaos. That's the only full combos.
Azer?
Azer, I mean. Not MCY. Not Chaos Blitz, excuse me. Nero also finding a break. Yeah, it's pretty even right now. Okay, not anymore. Now it's a little more even. This is looking very familiar.
This is
Want anybody?
yeah. Let's run it back and just let's hope it doesn't stay that way. Let's just hope it's the intro and they're having trouble and they'll get better.
It's gotten much better. Yeah, there are now 3 400 combos on Hong Kong, 2 on Canada. But yeah, Hong Kong gonna be going into this halfway point with a combo advantage. This is the best they've looked on any map so far, I'd say. This looks quite solid.
Yeah, we did see Hello Tom Lol 1000 combo on this last go around. Looking to repeat that performance.
Ooh,
oh goodness,
that was
NeuroStoof
Canada.
That was NeuroStoof, Ryuke, and Loli Lover all missing. So this is all on Azer's shoulders now. And while he has a big backpack, I don't know if it's going to be big enough.
Yeah, I don't think our theory of osmosis was correct here.
Oh, there goes Hello Tom.
Oh, yeah, right as I say that, combo advantage is actually in favor of Canada now. The score lead is very large, however. I don't think Canada can bring this back unless MCY4 just disappears.
If he actually evaporates, if he is like snapped off the face of the earth, well, there goes his combo. Chaos loses
the
well.
map's over.
Yeah, that's unlucky.
Is it too late? Yeah, it's definitely too late. Okay.
It almost wasn't too late, but it was too late.
Chaos, it's flew away at the end of that map. But yeah, Azer with the FC, I think. I think that's the FC.
I believe so. I mean, as we said,
Yeah,
it's
that's
Azer.
like one.
It's Azer on an Azer map. Guys, can you believe it? Azer does Azer things.
But yeah, that will be Hong Kong's first point this match. First time they have taken their own pick. And maybe it's the start of a comeback, who knows? MCY4 notably did quite well on that one. One miss at the end. But yep, it was still enough. Didn't need to pull the FC because Canada disappeared. Just Azer, basically, on that map. Unfortunately for Azer. Azer was not enough.
My 2.3 million score was pretty accurate, I would say, on that one. Azer cannot get that much score by himself, so, you know, it's unfortunate state of affairs, really. What kind of world are we living in? That one player can't 1v7. It's still 4-1, though. Canada, with the pick to come, do you go Nomad 6 here? Do you do it?
Given how that last map went, debatable.
No, you don't.
Probably
hey, look,
not.
It's Hard Rock 2. So, remember when we
theory
were
was
talking
wrong.
about Hard Rock
Yes.
2?
Canada feeling very good today, I guess. Here, hopefully this will go a little better than Hard Rock 1 did. I'm crossing my fingers very hard, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit embarrassing. But I think they're all warmed up by now. They've had a good 5 maps, 7 if you count the warm-ups. In fact, maybe the first warm-up was an un-warm-up, and now they're really into things. But yeah, Hong Kong, this is another tech map. Not nearly the same kind, well, at least pattern-wise. But I could see Hong Kong taking this one. I'm not really too sure why Canada would pick this map over something else in the pool, like maybe Hidden 3. I think this might be a good map for them.
Hidden 3 was banned by Hong Kong,
Oh,
so
that
it would have been a good map for them
everything.
if it were available. Yeah.
I see. Well, anyways, looks like they want to play this, so they will play this. Yeah, this map kind of takes a little bit from the last 2 kind of Canada whiff maps. Hard Rock 1, which they didn't actually whiff in the end, they brought it home. But it was rough, nobody could find a combo. And this has a lot of jump aim in it, made of sliders. And the last map was sliders. And they didn't do too well on that. But we'll see, maybe it's a new day.
Hong Kong was born in sliders. Canada is attempting to adopt them later in life. This is also worth noting. This is the first time this map has existed in this tournament. It has not been picked up until now. This is its maiden voyage into a match So welcome, everyone. Give a friendly welcome to Hard Rock number 2, as we see it for the first time. Give it a good old Osu Live chat experience welcome here as the players ready up.
Now, I didn't even notice, but this lineup is pretty strange to me from Canada. This is a map that I'd 100% expect Stoof at least to play, but it is probably going to be fine anyways. All 4 of these players, very capable of playing this kind of stuff. Maybe Stoof's not feeling too great, or Ryuke, but yeah, this ought to be fine, hopefully. Or maybe not hopefully if you're Hong Kong.
Yeah, I would say if you're Hong Kong, you're hoping it goes very poorly for them. You're hoping they made the wrong decision with this roster. If you're Canada, you're hoping that this pick works out and you get to take a match point.
Trev with the opening 50.
You know, it's Trev. He's trolling.
Maybe it's a nerve dumping tactic. If you get a 50 on the first note, you're
get your bad act out of the way early.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of bad act, MCY4 not having a jolly good time just yet.
Nor is Ryu.
Yeah.
Nor is Kyle, for that matter. So, you know, they're all over. A low accuracy player could be in the same room as you right now, and you wouldn't even know it. And here we go. Those aim sections that are made up of sliders now begin to be introduced into the map, and they find their first victim in the form of Chaos Litz. Trevor Asher, though, following up. And there goes Ryushi.
Yeah, and coming out of this first hard section, Canada on top with...
Well...
One FC, no longer on top. Oh, Azer kept cutting it very close there. But yeah, entering the halfway section, combo advantage very clearly in favor of Hong Kong off the back of MCY4 and Hello Tom lol. Section's not over yet, but it is not looking very good for Canada. I think we can all agree.
This is
oh dear, finding a break there. This
was a misfire.
Yeah, this, as long as Hello Tom lol and MCY4 don't die right away, like maybe on this section, surely not. Yeah, Canada's a little bit screwed.
So, you know, Canada, how we were saying, like, not to pick this. Why did you guys not listen to us saying not to pick this? Monko knows all.
Yes.
And, you should have listened to his advice.
I know this stuff. And entering the last hard section, this is just going to be kind of a free run for Hong Kong as long as MCY4 and Hello Tom lol do reasonably well in this last section. And I think...
well, Hello Tom lol not doing reasonably well, but, you know, MCY4.
He got far enough. Oh, it's actually quite close. In fact...
Is this?
All right.
Nope. Okay. Well, it almost.
That was much closer than I thought it would be. I was not paying attention to Canada's combos, evidently. But MCY4 gonna bring out the low AC FC. That was very well played from him, as well as Hello Tom lol. Both of them getting basically all of Hong Kong's score on that map. That was very well played from them. And next to pick is actually going to be Hong Kong.
Well,
starting to build a little bit of comeback momentum. It's getting scary for Canada.
This is where you're thankful that you have 2 break points, because you can afford to lose a pick. Even if you don't really want to, you can get away with it if you can win your next one after that. But now things get interesting, because Hong Kong still does have a couple of DTs if they want them. They have, they have not, arguably, like, Nomad 4 or 5? I don't know.
Every pick here could go either way, is the bottom line. But yeah, it's a very tough decision for both of these teams to make, and that's kind of Canada's advantage. The fact that they can basically have an okay chance at winning anything that's left. And they have kind of a few points to play with here. before they lose the advantage. But yeah, right now, Hong Kong in the position of power. I don't really know what they're going to pick. I'd say Fremont is probably their best bet here. Maybe Raiko Third Desire, although Canada did quite well on that one in their match.
No, they're doing it anyway.
Oh, see? I just predict these things.
So here's the thing about this pick from Hong Kong. So Canada picked this to win their previous match, and they scored 620,000 points better on it than Hong Kong did in their match. So, I question it a little bit. I guess Hong Kong expecting to improve by a lot and expecting Canada to get worse, perhaps, but otherwise a little interested in this pick with a capital int, potentially, but hopefully not.
Yeah, from what we've seen so far in this match, Canada is evidently not doing worse than they did last time. In fact, they're doing quite a bit better, whereas the same cannot be said for Hong Kong. They are starting to pull things back, though. Maybe that is why they're going for this. They might feel a lot more confident on this than they were feeling in the beginning of the match, I guess. And maybe they kind of want to abuse the fact that they have a little bit of momentum here, having won the last two maps, that they might just be able to carry on and take this third one. And that'll leave Canada in a very tough place pick-wise. But first they have to win this. We'll see.
You gotta walk before you can run, I suppose. Let's see, are we gonna get the same rosters as last time? We'll have Trev, Rasher, Stoof, Azer, and Yummy in My Tummy, so those are the same. You have Loli Lover, Denier, Nezer, Chaoslitz, and Judas for Hong Kong. So same 8 players. We're gonna see Denier, Nezer, Hard Rock, Judas hidden, the other 2 Nomad. You're gonna see Trev and Stoof, maybe both Hard Rock, yep, and Yummy Nomad with Azer hidden. Azer did FC this with hidden last time. Loli Lover FC this with Nomad for Hong Kong last time. So we've got some expectations in place for these particular players as we get into pick number 7 here.
Do not be fooled. There are 8 players, presumably. They'll catch up in a few minutes. Not minutes, a few seconds, hopefully.
They're just out taking a walk. They'll be back shortly.
Not a whole lot to be said here. Nobody is having a terrible time just yet. Yeah, everyone hit the stream. It was not a very hard stream to hit, but you'd be surprised.
We are still awaiting the return of Mr. Denier, Nezer, and Judas. So the score is not going to be quite accurate. It's going to be dependent on how well they are doing. So all we can talk about are the players that are actually here as they all hit the second stream and the doubles as we get a quick refresh. That'll bring in, we will go home and collect Denier, Nezer, and Judas from their comfy places on the couch and say, you guys need to come play some Osu. Get them up to their computer and get them going.
Everyone's having a great time on Canada. Seems Denier, Nezer, and Judas have found misses whilst sitting on the couch lounging at home. Which is not a good thing for Hong Kong. Not at all. Canada, though, with this accuracy, Stoof especially with Hard Rock. And Trev Rasher with 98 on Hard Rock is not bad at all either. But for now, Canada just gonna have a little bit of a walk in the park here. As we enter the last third of the map.
Yeah, they're gonna stop and smell the roses. They're gonna establish themselves a couple 100,000 point lead only halfway through here. Can't let your guard down, though, if you're Canada. You do have Denier, Nezer, and Judas both building up some pretty hefty combos for themselves in this middle section.
Yeah, but, and the hardest part of the map is coming up. So that's just a little more pressure to put on the Canadian players, all holding on to FCs as of now. Oh,
there goes Trev Rasher. There's only a quarter of the map left, and it's a 400k lead. I'm not super concerned about that since he's already closer to 1 million than 400k. There go Chaoslitz and Judas.
Yeah, not looking good for Hong Kong anymore. It never was. It still isn't. Loli Lover gonna not FC Rats.
Trev Rasher and Yummy both going to break again. Azer and Stoof are going Azer and Stoof mode, respectively.
What is
as
this
everyone
accuracy?
Dead. I don't know.
Look
But
at that.
Canada. That is.
It's gone.
Stoof,
It's
no!
gone.
It went away. However, Azer 1x100 hidden FC, so that is going to stay. That is some accuracy from Alex Azer Frost himself. Stoof almost did quite well. In fact, still did quite well.
He almost FC'd, which would have been even more well. But yeah,
that was
in the
a
end,
3.5 million score from Canada in the end.
Azer, Alex, and the boys gonna put a 5th point on the board, putting them at match point on their own pick. This is exactly where Hong Kong does not want to be.
I just would like everybody to know briefly before we talk about the next pick. Mr. Azer Frost himself, in fact, both matches today played this map. Both matches today played this map with hidden. Both matches today played this map with hidden and finished with 100 FC. Both times. That's consistent. That's pretty good.
That's decent. You can still do better, you know. You can get no 100s. But it's good enough. It's more than good enough. They destroy them, and looks like running off of the Azer momentum, Azer kind of being the carry on the last 3 maps. Not really on this last one. Everyone did well last time. But yeah, they're going to be going for No Mod 6 finally.
And everybody gets to enjoy the guitar stylings of Eric Hansel and Mario Camarena of Chan. Yes, I did just Google the guitarist from Chan and their names because why not?
Well done.
This is an excellent song. I'm just very happy about this song existing. And last time we saw Azer do things, he kind of FC'd this, and he SS'd the intro, which is one of the more ridiculous things that I think happened today in their matches. And this was a very Canada-favored pick between these two teams. They won it by 754,000 points. So definitely a reasonable sort of selection if you are the Maple Leaf boys.
Yeah, and going off of the trend of Canada improving upon their scores from the first match, this is a very scary place to be if you are Team Hong Kong. Not unwinnable, not by a long shot. Canada could just choke here. Hong Kong could go God mode. Anything could happen. The power could go out. And Hong Kong still has a chance to bring this to tiebreaker if they can win the next 3 picks in a row. But it is looking very, very hard for them.
We're going to get underway with presumably the same 8 players as in their matches previously. Hello, Tom Law typing please, or well, not typing, writing please in smoke. There is a little prayer I think everybody has to say before going into this intro as they try to, maybe finger control, maybe mash their way through whatever this intro is as Stoof dies, but then MCY4 and Tom both die as well.
Judas. Azer.
Oh, okay. Azer not replicating his performance from earlier.
Yummy in my tummy now taking the torch from Azer on this time. Still a whole rest of the map to go, but for now, combo advantage is actually tied. Everyone, well actually it's a little bit in favor of Hong Kong, but accuracy kind of negates that. Just kidding. Everything is gone. Not really. Hello Tom Law is gone. His combo at least.
And it's not looking optimal here if you're Hong Kong, because there's a lot of parts in this map that are hard, but there's also some parts in this map that are easy, and you can't miss in the easy ones like Lolly Lover just did.
But
there goes Yummy's FC.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, little
it's
reset.
Not over yet. Stoof finding a miss.
Stoof!
Lolly Lover gonna match him as well, but combo advantage now in favor of Hong Kong, and still plenty of map to go. things are gonna get exciting real soon here.
The song being so quiet kind of belies the map's nature as very difficult. But MCY4 and Judas over here making things happen for Hong Kong. However, Neuro and Azer are matching them and have better accuracy. So that helps out just a lot if you're Canada.
Yep, if something's gonna happen, it's gonna need to happen now. Combos are pretty much tied across the board, and Lolly Lover writes out an oh no in smoke. Oh no indeed. Hello Tom Wall with the 3 periods. There's a name for that, I forgot what it was.
It is an ellipsis, good sir.
There we go. Oh, but Stu finding a break.
It's opening the door here for Hong Kong.
Just a tad bit.
Just a little bit. It's like kind of cracked open.
Yeah. Do they want to enter? So far, they're inching closer. Deeper.
There goes Azer.
The door is a little wider. Lolly Lover finding a break as well, but the combos were on the other 3 players.
Oh, there goes Judas, though.
And the door slowly starts to shut MCY4.
MCY4. That slams it shut. That's
it's
closed.
So
that's
shut.
Locked. That's the key thrown away. Pack it up here, folks. That is Canada slamming the door in Hong Kong's face. They teased them. They kind of pulled it open a little bit as if to say, you know what, maybe you can come in, and then slammed it shut and said, nope, not today. That's Canada 6-2. That's Canada moving on. Surviving another day in the losers bracket. Onward they go. Boldly forward into the unknown.
And that will be the end of the World Cup for Hong Kong. They fought valiantly and they got far. They got top 8, but this is the end of the road for them. Canada will be moving on in the losers bracket, as we said, to face the loser of UK versus Germany. And that is another very good match that you don't want to miss.
Yeah, we're going to have, I think, 2 matches that nobody will want to miss both tomorrow. We've got Brazil versus South Korea in the losers bracket. That'll be 14 UTC, so just under 9 hours. And you've got the big semifinals matchup between last year's 2nd and 3rd place finishers, United Kingdom, Great Britain, England, and the Associated Nations against Germany. Dust Ice and friends looking to make it to the finals. Not going to want to miss that one. That'll be 15:30 UTC tomorrow. Those are 2 bangers.
By the way, don't forget to buy OWC banners to support your favorite teams. But until then, that'll be all from us.
Now, this has been a great performance from Canada. 2 wins on the day for them moving forward to close out the evening. And we hope to see you guys back here again 9 hours from now, 14 UTC, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. in South Korea. Different times in a bunch of different time zones. And on that note, thank you for watching. GG's to Canada. I've been this one guy. He's been Monko.
Yes, I have.
We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you later.